The Tie and Hoodie Show is sponsored by ICCLending.com. For real estate service, please go to ICCLending.com.
3, 2, 1.
Every human came to earth with a gift, and they must discover that gift and refine that gift for them to be fulfilled.
The prerequisite for spending time with any person is that they nourish and inspire you. They feed your flame.
Yo, hey man, how you work this radio?
You're not listening to the Tie and Hoodie Show.
Keep it locked.
Owning a home and paying it off is one of the data points of an everyday millionaire.
Home sales across the U.S. are on the rise as buyers take advantage of record low mortgage rates.
Good morning. Now let's get back to the Tie and Hoodie Show.
Good morning. This is the Tie and Hoodie Show right here on 93.5 K-Day each and every Sunday morning, 6:30 to 7 a.m. On the world famous, 935 K-Day. I'm your host, Trevon Smith, also known as Trey, with my main man, Andrew Jesse Koba. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing good, Trevon. Good morning. Good morning, fans. Good morning, everybody around the world. Hope everybody's doing great.
It's always definitely a pleasure hanging out with you on Sunday.
Absolutely. Every Sunday morning, 6:30. Thank you for the opportunity again. Another new day, another new month.
Okay. Every Sunday morning, man, we try to bring positivity, try to bring something inspirational to the city of Los Angeles and the people that's, watching via YouTube, and the people that's listening around the world now, because you can listen to all radio stations, via internet. And this is something special, I wanted to bring through today. Was definitely our pleasure of it's a man that I got a chance to know for the last 3 years. I've got to see, I don't want to say his growth, but I've seen him, just hanging out on the sidelines to I didn't really know who he was. And then I kind of started hearing background about him and then running into him. And I was like, man, this dude is a good dude and a great family. And his son is that dude. He's a mega dude. But I just want people to know it all starts with the family. And it definitely comes from, we want to highlight dads in our community with all due, respect. I want to introduce y'all to Coach Dennis Jackson. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm good, man. I appreciate it, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm hanging in there. I miss hanging out with y'all. I got to get up there.
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah, so Coach Jackson, tell us a little bit, about yourself. We definitely see. I got my SC stuff on.
Yes, sir.
I want everybody to know what's going on this morning. Yeah, I see the 99. Hey, if
yes,
you don't know, it's 99 problems this morning. Coach Jackson, just talk to us a little bit about, growing up and what you've been through as a dad and what it takes to, keep yourself on track and your family on track, in the community while all the LA's listening to you right now.
Man, well, first of all, my name is Dennis Jackson. I grew up in Compton, California. So, it comes with Compton. A little tough growing up, I did a little bad stuff in my life, but I knew that's what I didn't want to do for life. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be a cop. So I did the things that I needed to do to stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? So, how I got into football is what was really crazy. I was in junior college at Compton College, and I was in a weight room lifting weights, and I was putting up about I'm gonna say about 470 pounds. And,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And then one of the coaches, he came into the gym and he goes, "Hey, what school you go to?" And I go, "Huh?" I go, "Here." Then he goes, "Where you play football at?" I said, "I don't play football." The coach's name was Lalo Mendoza. And he says, "Well, guess what?" I said, "What?" He says, "You're going to play football for me." And man, I want to say, man, that's that whole time, man, football changed my life, bro. It's just like, I was going to school just to experience it. But, after that, I ended up getting my degree. I ended up going to Missouri Western University. Went there. It was cool, man. got to try out for some teams. The arena team, the LA Avengers. Did a tryout with the Los Angeles Raiders. So I didn't make it. I had a kid early. My oldest, which is my oldest daughter, and what's her name is Destiny Jackson. Who also attends SC right now.
Shout out to the Jackson 5.
Yeah, the Jackson 5, part of the Jackson 5. Yeah, I got 5 kids, man. And they're beautiful. I mean, they're making me a proud papa today, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I grew up, and football kind of changed my life. It kind of took me in areas that I didn't expect to go to. You know what I mean? So, so when I finally had my son, I had 2 girls first. I always knew that I wanted a son, and I know I was going to want him to play football. You know what I'm saying? So, growing up, I did everything that I did coming up to make it possible for my son. So I remember as a youth, I told him, I said, son, you want to be good, great, or amazing? He says, Dad, I want to be amazing.
He's every bit of that. He's every bit of that. Andrew, you want to chime in right now?
Or? No. I don't want to chime in yet. I'm soaking everything in. I mean,
well, look.
As a matter of fact, you interrupted my soaking.
No. Because look, I already know how this goes. I'm about to look. Mr. Coach Jackson trying to be humble right now. So let me tell y'all something right now.
Coach, you know, so shout out to you. Shout out to everything you've said so far, because I'll tell you, I came to this country on a scholarship on track and field. And in Nigeria, where I grew up, you can either walk from point A to B, or you can run, or you can take a taxi. It's one of those 3, right? Because only 10% of the population own cars. 90% of the population don't own cars, right? Compared to America. So I chose to run from A to B, and somebody saw me running and say, hey, same like you can come over to the stadium and run. It seems like you can run fast. And that's how I got to the US on a track scholarship, you know? Yeah. So anytime I see a coach, it's another level for me. It's not just, I see somebody who's impacting lives and changing lives, you know, for the future. So I'm soaking in your story. I mean, I'm loving every bit of what you're saying, and you know, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you as a dad, because there's people who are listening right now who are parents who are, probably haven't thought about how can they channel their children for amazing, you know. Not just be successful, great, but how can you become amazing? And that's the most beautiful thing I've heard out of you so far. You know, thank you.
Did you go to school at Azusa Pacific?
No, I went to Biola University, which is a competitor to Azusa. We were in the, you know, I mean, it used to be a different conference. It's a different conference now, but you know, yeah. But I kicked some butts in Azusa, some of those athletes. You know.
Oh, okay.
Okay, killer.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was in the 400 hurdles, so you know. But,
hey, that takes a lot. The 400 hurdles takes a lot.
Yeah,
that's probably the hardest one.
Yeah. So I did every Saturday during our meets. I did the 400 hurdles, the 400, the 4x4, the 4x1, and long jump.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a full day. I mean, you know, but nothing compared to what you guys do in football. You know. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And if you're tuning in right now, we're right here on 93.5 KD. You catch us on the YouTube channel, and we're checking in with Coach Dennis Jackson. If you guys want to reach out to him, I believe it's the 99 Foundation, Coach.
Yes, sir.
99problemsfoundation.com or 99. Just Google 99 Problems Foundation, or we'll also you know, provide the information for you guys to reach out. It's a beautiful organization that helps out through the community of South Central and all through the Inland Empire and everywhere where, you know, it benefits kids and things amongst that. I want to talk a little bit about the process, you know, like you growing up, you had the kids, and everybody listening, just stay tuned. We're going to get to where we're going. If you ain't seen the picture in the back, you know where we're going. But I want to talk a little bit about the mentality that you have to have as far as like as a man, you know, and a minority man, as far as keeping your kids on track, plus, you know, taking care of your house, plus, just, dealing with the everyday, things of society as a man yourself. Like, what kind of mentality it has? Talk to someone. I want you to talk to, reach out and talk to some of the dads out there. Like, hey, I've been, what they've been through, saying they see that picture in the back. Just don't think it's all, glory and stars. Talk to some of the dads right now, because I've called you on a couple personal conversations for you to help me out as well. So, talk to some of these dads right now if you can, Coach.
Okay, hold on.
Got you.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, like, I asked my son, you want to be good, great, or amazing? He says, Dad, I want to be amazing. I said, you sure? It's gonna take a lot of work, son. He says, no, I want to be amazing. I said, all right, shake my he shook my hand. And, it took hard work and dedication. Like you said, on holidays, we would wake up, I tap him on the bed. Oh, come on, Dad, it's a holiday. Get up, son, let's go. We're going to be great. Amazing. You know what I mean? Right after practice, we go to the gym. Come on, Dad, we just finished practice. Let's go. Let's hit the gym, man. You want to be amazing. Let's go. You know what I mean? So I couldn't let him go soft. You know what I mean? Like, just because he was tired or whatever, I still pushed him to the limit to where he wanted to be amazing. So, but what was great though, after a while, it just became easy for him. You know what I mean? We never took an off season, he's always been in shape. You know what I mean? He's never fell out of shape and had to get back in shape again. It's just shape. He's always been ready. And you have to have that mentality to keep the kid going. You know what I mean? I know some people tend to be like, he tired today, let him get a break. You know what I mean? Well, if you're trying to be amazing, you can't let your foot off your neck. You know what I'm saying? And I think the number one story I kind of looked at was Barry Sanders' dad, and how he stayed on his sons. He stayed on him. And his dad, some people, it probably look cruel, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, I wanted my son to make it. And I know what it took for me to try to make it. And, I kind of came at it a little too late. I didn't start football until junior college. And so I knew what it took for him. We would practice before practice in Pop Warner. I mean, it just it took a lot of hard work, and but you just got to be consistent. And that's the number one thing I could say, just being consistent, you know what I mean, and staying on top of it. But it was crazy is because, throughout his years, he's always been MVP. Yeah. MVP, most valuable player, the best defensive lineman, or every year he has got an accolade for his play on the field through Warner, through high school, and now even college. So the hard work's been paid off. I say being consistent.
Yeah.
So if you have, like me now, I have a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, or for parents who have 15-year-olds, what would be your advice to them who say, you know what, because sometimes, college is great and college is a really good way to go, but how will you advise dads who have, not just, male kids, even female kids who want to be, competitive? What would be the advice, to them?
I would say, like I said, just being consistent, stand on top of it. Like, if you really want them to be great, you have to be dad and be able to stay on top of it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to turn into trainer. Sometimes you got to cut out dad every now and then and turn on trainer, or turn on just being whatever you want your kids to be as just turn it on the coach. You know, it's funny because my son, when we were, I coached him all through Pop Warner, all the way through high school. And when I'm on the field, he used to call me dad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, don't call me dad on the field. When he on this field, I'm coach. So call me coach, you know. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So how much, one more question, Trevon. For you as a person, how much you knew what you wanted for your son, because he didn't know any better then, right?
Right.
How much of you did it take to get dedicated? How much, you know, how do you create time as a dad to say, okay, I want greatness for this person? How do you separate work life and give time to family and still have time for yourself? Or is it all sacrifice and that's it?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I sacrificed a lot of my time because it was some points where I was tired, and because I used to work graveyard at work, and some days I get straight off of work and come wake him up, and we go work out and do some work or whatever, or go run a block. I go run around the block with him. It took some days I literally had to go running with him. You know what I mean? I'll do drills with him. You know what I mean? I did as far as just whatever extra time I had, I put it in. I poured it into my son. So it wasn't really no extra time. So we'll go to a practice. I mean, we'll practice before we go to a practice. So it's like I'm doing a little jogging, doing some drills with him, and, you know, intervening, and then go right to a practice to do the same thing. So I had to do a lot of exerting myself, or coming from a football, go to the gym, and then doing a little extra work on the field. I'm at the gym showing him what to do, and, you know, then some days I go straight from the gym, go to bed, wake up, and go get to work and do the graveyard thing. So I mean, I really had to pour in myself too. So it took a lot of hard work.
And I think what people get out of that, man, is it's a lot of sacrifice. And what I'm hearing from that is hey, you put your kids first. You have to do what you have to do, and we're after results, you know. So because it was going to lead to one positive thing or another. He understands. Yep. And on the second half of that, with the minority of parents, and, you know, we speak to a lot of Los Angeles, and it's a big demographics of minority parents. We're saying hey, keep your kids busy. If you keep your kids busy, they're off the streets. So everything positive comes out of it. Spending time with your kids, not forcing. Well, there are days, because I've been there too. There's days you have to force these kids. Hey, you got to get up, man. We got to go work out. And I think as we get older, we learn how to talk to them a little bit different than hey. But it is what it is. But I want to talk about Coach Jackson. I want to talk about Drake Jackson now. We've been leading up to this time. How is it? I sent you a couple texts where, where kids, I don't know if people are familiar, when your kids get offers from schools, they have pictures of certain players. And then one day I seen that they offered, some kids in Texas and some kids in New York, but it was a picture of your son. Now, I'm a huge football fan. How does that feel for your son to be the picture of the offerees that's coming in? I was like, man, that's amazing.
And that feels dope. You know what I mean? I'm and I'm being modest right now too. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, it's so crazy, man. It's I've been an SC fan all my life. You know what I mean? Like I said, when my son was born, his name should have been Drake Jackson from the University of Southern California starting line. That's been his name on the birth certificate. You put it. They said only a couple of names, so I was like, okay, Drake Jackson. But honestly, man, it's so crazy because a friend of mine, just like you said, I have a lot of people do that. Like a friend of mine just recently, he says, man, I went to get some tickets online to take my kids to the game, and look who's on the thing, on the brochure to register for tickets, and there's a picture of my son. Or just going to Google, and I didn't even pull up his name, but just to see a picture of him, man, it brings a tear to my eye. You know what I mean? And I wanted to say, like I said, when I as an SC fan growing up, you know, I probably got to the tailgate and that was it, you know. But here is my son. He gets me into. Where I'm sitting in the head coach's office, and this dude is telling me how bad he wants my son, and I'm like, man, you know, I was like Rudy, the movie. I wanted to go to SC, you know what I mean? So for my son to be able to do it and to be able to put me in places that nobody probably can go, you know what I'm saying? As just a regular fan, it's been amazing. I was just up there. I took 15 kids up to SC the other day, and man, they show me so much love, and I just think because my son, it's like this can happen. But what's really crazy is I'm walking through the facility, showing kids around, and here it is, pictures on the wall of my son. Here it is on the monitor, popping up is a picture of my son, and it just, like I said, it brings a tear to me. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm gonna tell you where his picture better be within the next 2 years is on the side over there by JJ Taylor on Corona Centennial. Without ifs, ands, and buts. It better be a poster over there real soon. But look, man, that dude, it's like I just know that feeling that you get, and I get the chills, like, you know, because I got a chance to meet you, but I didn't know you at first. But we have some people in common, and my family is Kerry Colbert, and he came to the practice one day, and I had just been, you know, as a parent sitting on the sideline, and I was seeing, he was like, "What do you think about 99?" I said, "Man, that dude is a beast." I was like, I've been watching him all day, him and the other defensive end, which was the baby Corey at the time, and I was like, I didn't know they had, you know, big D ends at like this in high school, you know, et cetera, et cetera. He was like, okay. He was like, you know, because we trying to get him to go to SC, but we hadn't met yet, you know. So I was like, well, hey, you know, I was like, good luck with that, because he gonna be one of them guys. And then, you know, we kind of started talking, and then I found out, you know, you thinking about it, you know, or whatnot. And Kerry was like, you could talk to his dad and try to get him to SC. I was like, man, I don't know his daddy like that, but I was like, hey, you know, if it's planned to be, it's planned to be. But after me getting to know you, I knew you. I kind of sensed you as an SC guy, and there's no way you let this dude walk out of LA. Like, look at this picture behind you, man. It gives me chills, you know, just seeing that. And that's 99. And if anybody listening, it's called the 99 Problem Foundation.
Yes, sir.
If you can, go help out wherever you can help out. This dude has a gym in numerous gyms, and one in the city of Corona where my son goes, and he sponsors and helps out kids, you know, not just the kids going to SC, all kind of kids and all kind of programs. And, you know, and they're out there feeding the homeless out there in South Central, San Bernardino or whatnot. So I definitely want to get out there. 99 Problem Foundation. You know, Google it. We'll put up the information as well. But I just want to see, like, hey, man, I know you get the chills each and every Saturday morning when that band strikes up.
Yeah, man. I'm going to tell you, too, because I said it was a dream for my son. I just remember the first time I seen him walk out that tunnel. And, man, I tears just start pouring out my eyes, uncontrollable. Because
like he was at church getting baptized.
Yeah, it was like uncontrollable, because this was a dream that I had for my son for at the time he was 17, for 17 years, and it came true. You know what I mean? So what's funny though, because a guy was in the stands next to me. He goes, "Dude, you good?" And I was like, "Man, that's my son coming out the tunnel, bro." And he was like, "Oh, I see where you at, man." So blessing, bro, you know.
Well, I mean, Coach Jackson, I you know, this is the first time we're meeting over the radio and things like that. I would love the opportunity to still meet with you. I got a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old that think that they think they know football. I said, wait till somebody hits you or takes you out, you know, like so. But I want to say thank you, because just talking to you today and the experience, I think a lot more kids need fathers in their lives to give them perspective. we as dads need to make sure that our children are phenomenal, not just great, phenomenal. And either through sports, through academics, through the arts, or just being great people and changing lives. And, on my personal level, I'm going to spread the word as much as possible, Coach, to make sure that everybody knows what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I know with my kids, all my kids, they all challenged each other as far as like who could get A's, straight A's. So in my household, it was like who had the best grades, and like I would literally reward them for every A they had. So they try to get all A's. And what I can say throughout, just with all my kids, is paying off. My oldest daughter, she's in the graduate program at SU. She'll be graduating in December. My middle daughter, my oldest daughter is Destiny Jackson. My middle daughter is Desiree Jackson. She's at in the Bay. She goes to school at the Bay at she's in the nursing program up there. Matter of fact, she just graduated, so she just passed her test to be a nurse, so she's ready to go. You know what I mean? Then my son Drake, he's in school, he'll be graduating too. So I mean, it's just been a blessing. You know what I mean? And just like not only pouring into them as sports wise, but just grade wise too. Because right now, like I tell kids, I take kids on the trips to different schools and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, they love your talent, but you got to have the grades too to back it up. So that's the number one thing too. I forgot to put out there. You got to have the grades, man. Get the school. You got to get the schooling right. And as hard as you are on them, and to be great in sports, you got to be that same hard as far as getting the grades right. So,
and I think that's something that's very important for us to stress, the education. To our youth, like, hey, I always say, hey, you can determine your own future, man. Like it's we're in that kind of society where, hey, hard work does pays. You know what I'm saying? You plant your seeds early as you've done, and the harvest will harvest. We only got a couple minutes left, but I want to ask you a question as far as right now, the platform your son is on, you see him on Saturday, every channel's talking about him. I mean, you can't even listen to a USC game without them saying, you better stop Drake Jackson. You better stop Drake Jackson. Do you catch yourself like just smiling at yourself when you catch him in that moment? You be like I'm like he comes to you still as the dad, like, oh yeah, I'm still the dad. Like he come to you for like personal advice or things like you don't have to talk to in detail, but it's like, yeah, I'm still dad. Like he still need that from me.
What's crazy is because this is Father Day. I did a workout still with my guys, and I didn't expect my son to come. You know what I mean? And he came out, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's my son right there. You know what I mean? It just hit me like, yeah, that's my son. You know what I mean? It's funny because over these last years of life, man, I just really been emotional. And like I said, man, I ain't afraid to drop a tear no more. Gotcha. So yeah, that tear definitely comes up.
Look, man,
those are tears of joy, accomplishment.
That's important.
Tears of joy. I mean, there's no better tears than tears of joy. And if you say you're a hardcore guy and you don't cry, come on, you don't understand joy.
Yeah, you don't understand
joy. When guys cry out of happiness, it's joy. It's not because I'm soft. The work paid off. You know what I mean? Yeah,
right.
So we're grateful for you. I can't wait. I definitely will be taking my sons to go watch number 99.
Yes, sir.
Well, and we got a couple numbers. Shout out to number 1, shout out to 99, shout out to 44. It's a couple numbers out there representing Corona Centennial.
We got 0. We got 14.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's a card deck of them out there. So I definitely want to show love to Coach Dennis Jackson, the 99 Problems Foundation. If you can, go support it, spread the word. These people do a lot to where, they're out in the community, him and his wife, and the two babies, they out there making sure these kids eat on holidays, in neighborhoods, and he has a gym where, he helps these kids work out so they might not all go to USC, but they all fulfill their dreams and, learning the work ethic and the right attitude. So I definitely want to, send some love to Coach Jackson for hanging out with us right here on K-Day. We'll have all this information posted. Happy belated birthday. I know it's your birthday, young man. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank you for everything you've done for me and my family, man. So we love you, bro. Everything you got coming, you deserve it, to you and your family, man. So thank you for hanging out with us this morning.
Oh yeah, man. I'll be looking for that next bowl of gumbo too when you're ready.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely do that. Shout out to my man GB too, man. We got to get y'all back, you know what I'm saying? And before the season started, and get y'all both on here. And
yes, sir.
We appreciate it. Andrew, anything else you want to chime in before we get out of here?
I'm just grateful. Hey, I'm a football fan. I'm a USC fan. I can't wait to experience, because anytime I'm watching your son play now I know who I'm watching.
Hey,
yeah. Well, you better watch it this year, because this is
the last one.
Yeah, he's projected to go in the first round.
I'll be there.
He's the last one. But look, thank you for listening to the Tie and Hoodie Show right here on 93.5 K-Day each and every Sunday. You never know who we're going to bring on the show, 6:30 to 7 a.m. We'll see y'all later. We out.
Hey, do you have valuable information that can help your community?
Okay.
And you'd like to be a guest? Hit us on our social media.
Do it now. The Tie and Hoodie Show is sponsored by ICCLending.com. For real estate service, please go to ICCLending.com.